Hi there, welcome. I want to share a bit of my recent life experiences with you so that you can see that I live what I speak. And through tough times and challenges, you really can rise above these. The new year of 2019 started as any other. It was just back to work and normal life until I started feeling quite ill. It turned out that I had acute pancreatitis and gallstones. I finished up having surgery where they put a slit in my bile duct, a hole if you will, and the idea of this was to release the stones through that. And I took a week off and look, I thought nothing of it. Little did I know what was coming. The second week I became very, very ill. I couldn't even get out of bed. My wife forced me to the hospital as really I just couldn't even hardly move, I was so sick. And it was discovered that my body had gone into septic shock, and the doctors found that the stones were so large that they couldn't drop through the hole, and the stones were trapped, and the build-up caused, look, a major infection that was septic. And now going through my blood and whole body, and I was very, very ill at this point. In fact, I almost died. Little did I know that this was the beginning of almost a year of in and out in the hospital due to this being something the doctors and surgeons weren't sure how to really approach. My body was creating gallstones, but as I have quite severe cirrhosis of the liver, this made it a difficult situation, as it should have been a simple matter of just removing my gallbladder. And this was not possible in my case, as the doctors believed that my liver wouldn't cope with the operation, and that with the whole area being so inflamed that really I wouldn't make it through surgery. My story actually starts from having been a drug addict and sharing needles. I contracted hepatitis B and C. I managed to fight off hepatitis B, but unfortunately I battled hepatitis C for many years. I did the interferon program twice for 12 months each time, then a third go at it for 4 months. Look, each time on this program I got very, very sick, and it really affected me mentally and emotionally. It was somewhat like, I suppose I could liken it a little bit towards chemo. My hair started to fall out, and mentally trying to cope was really tough on this program. But I persevered through. Sadly, after all this fight, I never eradicated the virus. Because I had cirrhosis of the liver and so much damage, the doctors said if a cure is not found, your life expectancy would be around 6 to 10 years. It's now been just over 15 years. About 3 years ago I did a trial program for 3 months, and look, that didn't work either. I managed to get on a 6-month trial program of the same trial drug at the hospital, and that completely cleared the virus. And look, that is such a good news story. It's put years on my life. Going back, as I was saying, last year I almost died in hospital, resulting in a number of hospitalisations. To keep me going last year, they inserted a tube straight into my gallbladder to drain off the septic infection. I finished up having this in for at least 4 months. The surgeon said I needed an operation but didn't want to go ahead because it was quite likely to basically kill me. And I was told that if I did survive, I would require a liver transplant. As you could well imagine, the news was hard to take. I wondered how my family would cope without me. I felt devastated, I felt upset and look, at times even angry, and it just didn't seem fair what was happening to me. And I thought of my 13-year-old daughter losing a dad and how tough this would be for them. I was sent to Auckland transplant unit for 1 week to be assessed in the hospital there to whether I'd be a suitable candidate for a liver transplant. I was very fortunate and I received the OK there and was put on the transplant list. I have to say that though I had become a very optimistic person, I am also human and had days where I was really down and I really struggled. Through this time, I also had to rely on my savings to support my family, and that in itself was tough going. At this stage, I thought with all that I'd learned in recovery and was living out in my life for many years, I decided mentally that I was going to fight and I wasn't going to accept this. With my deep-seated positive belief in my own worth, I decided that my life was far from over and that I still had much to accomplish. Everyone that I knew all around the world that had any sort of faith, I asked them to pray for me. I've seen results of prayer studies and the results work. I began speaking positively into my circumstances, refusing to accept what the doctors were saying. I was being wheeled in for the operation and I can remember I had a real complete peace about it. I said to the doctors, "Don't worry, it's going to go well and I'm going to be out of here in a couple of days and I'm not going to need a transplant." Look, they averted their eyes and I could tell they were thinking, "Who's the doctor here?" because it was obviously not you. Look, with my strong faith in God, the power of prayer and my positive attitude and belief and what I spoke out, that is exactly what happened. I was out of hospital in a couple of days and I didn't need a liver transplant. This shocked the doctors and I got what I can only describe as my miracle. I've now got a couple of very close friends. Every time they ring me they say, "How's the miracle man?" I want to tell you that what I talk about in my videos, I live in action and this stuff works. I speak out of my heart and experience, and this is not out of some sort of textbook. Why am I sharing this with you? It's because after facing death I realised no one knows how long they have in life. And look, life can be short. I decided to dedicate my life to encouraging and inspiring people to step up and find their true potential in life, and that there is hope and that your life is important and it does matter and you can rise and become that successful person that you're really meant to be. Thank you for watching.